All right, so here I am. I'm at this little spot right here by the water, and I'm going to get the story out. I'm going to have to tell it in segments. So what I'm going to do is tell the segment here with the bond issue. So part one, the bonds. What's going on is the county's position is that I'm wrong and they're right. And there's a government code, and I'll show all the details here in a minute.
Morning, everyone. You hear me? Am I on? Okay, thank you. I just wanted to address everybody in the flesh here because I just want to set the record straight. I do. My name is Ty Robben, for the record. And what happened is last Friday I came here and talked to the election department, Miss Debbie Batista, a wonderful lady and great department. So I had a little bit of a rough ride at first, but everything was okay. She provided me with the information that I was looking for, which was a public record request. And Mr. Flynn was there with me and some other people. And what happened was I inquired about the surety bonds. Everybody has to post a surety bond. I didn't bring the codes with me today, but I will send that to you in writing. So the government code states that you have to post a performance bond, everybody. And there's no record of any bond being posted for anybody on this board or any other board since 1950. That's just the record, and that's the facts. Right, Jaron? And that being said, everything really that's been done in the county would be null and void, because the first two things an elected officer does, first thing is post that surety bond. It's a performance bond. The reason they do that is if there's corruption, they have skin in the game. So if you say embezzle money or whatever, you're going to take a hit, okay? And none of you or anybody else has ever posted that bond. And beyond that, it was said by Ms. Carrillo that you did pass a resolution 2 years ago in 2021 in December. However, because you never posted the bond before you took your oath, that's the first thing, you got to post the bond. Anything you did, including that, would be null and void. And then during the Board of Supervisors meeting on December 2021, I can't remember the date, I didn't bring all my notes, the board clerk was not here. And the other people that can be the clerk would be Debbie Batista or anybody in that group. And he put somebody else, I don't have her name, I didn't come with my notes, but there was somebody else in that place. And she was not a clerk. And then it was signed as if she was the executive clerk. Okay, all that's on the record. I'll send it. And therefore, that would be null and void. That was regarding the redistricting. Last year when you did the redistricting, right? Remember the census and the lines are drawn for the redistricting for the voting areas. So during that meeting, Heather wasn't here. Somebody else sat in her position. What was her last name? O'Neill? Tracy William O'Neill from the airport. I'm not sure who that is, but nothing against you and nothing against the great people with Tuolumne County. I love everybody here, including the people on the board.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, you already spoke this morning. This is just open to the people who were not able to speak this morning.
But you canceled the meeting for a rebuttal and you allowed.
I'm sorry, you've already spoken this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way we do things here. I'm sorry. That's just not, excuse me, you're not at the podium and you're not allowed to be at the podium, so I'm sorry. We're going to get on. I have something for you, Mr. Robben. I have something for you. So, and it's the government code that you quote, and it says specifically, 24156. The Board of Supervisors of any county may, by resolution, adopt a program of self-insurance in lieu of bonds, and it goes on. So you are mistaken. You misunderstand. I am sorry. We can talk about this offline. We're going to continue our meeting.
taken my neck out and put myself in this position.
I'm going to have to stop.
You can't. I have to rebut. You never
I'm gonna
had
have to-
jurisdiction.
I'm
You
gonna
never
have
had
to-
jurisdiction.
I'm
before
going to
you did
have to
that.
stop this meeting if you don't.
Did you ever
step
post?
down.
Can you? Any of you show your bonds? Okay. No. The answer is no.
We're
answer
stopping
is
the
no.
meeting. I'm going
Tuolumne
to call
County,
for a
these
break.
people do not
Please
have
follow
bonds.
me. I'm going to resume the meeting now. I'm closing public comment.
The county in 1850 when they started the state. Not 1950, but 1850. And from then on, all the way to now, until 2 years ago, they never had any bonds posted. So we went, me and John Flynn, and we went into the county recorder's office, and they had nothing for anybody. Not the sheriff, any elected board member, board of supervisors, on down. So, they don't have anything for anybody, including the not only elected officials, other officials, including like county council and certain unelected official jobs have.
All right, guys, this is the introduction right here. That's me. I'm Ty Robben, and basically they didn't post any of their bonds, their surety bonds, according to the government codes. And I established the facts at the meeting on December 5th, 2023, at the Board of Supervisor meeting when I was thrown out. And the videotape recording of that is edited. And it's Debbie Batista, the county clerk, confirmed that. And really, we didn't need to go to the board to confirm it, but we did give them an opportunity to explain if they did post the bond, if maybe I'm making a mistake or something like that. And Anaiah Kirk did admit that he did not post the bond. That was edited out. And at the same time, no other board member admitted that they did when they had the chance when I was at the board meeting. And I'll go ahead and put that in the post right here. So this does show that. And what they're trying to say, Sarah Carrillo, who is the county council, is that December 7th, 2021, they passed a resolution adopting a self-insurance plan pursuant to the government code 24156 in lieu of the bonds. So they knew that they had to do this back in 2021, December 7th. And here's an email from Debbie Batista, who is the county clerk. I believe she's also, it says down here, she's also the auditor and controller as well. And she responded to my email, basically right here, asking for the information. And she attached the board resolution. And the point with the board resolution is that you cannot put the cart before the horse here. And I even put that down here. That's a different resolution. This one is on the voting district boundaries. We'll get to that in a minute. There it is right there. You cannot put the cart before the horse because, the case law says right here, you need to post your bonds before you take office. It does say that right here. The first, the law required any officer to take the oath of office and give bonds within the time required by law. If you fail to do so according to law and within the time period required by law, the office was vacant. So that's what's happening, is all their offices are vacant. And we can come down here and take a look at their what they're relying on, which is right there. December 7th, 2021, they passed a resolution. And it says right here that this is their self-insured criminal insurance. And the problem I have is that they didn't hold office when they passed the resolution because they never posted the bond. So the resolution is null and void. And because I'm attacking it within the timeliness within 2 years, and they're still the same board members right here, that it can be attacked. And I'll show you the case law on that as well. None of them signed it. I guess it's unanimous here. Okay, here we are, and I wanted to point out that the case law is such that the defendant, not the plaintiff, right here, would have to. Says it requires the defendant to establish the lawfulness of holding office, and it goes on to say that they would have to establish the burden, basically, of instead of me doing it, they would have to prove that they would do it. And their position already is that they've posted the resolution. They signed the resolution in December of 2021, and that was December 7th. However, they didn't hold office when they did that, right? Because they never posted the bond. And because I am attacking it, it is timely. And they basically, all of them don't hold office. That's what this says. And it says that the court has power to issue a judgment against a defendant for usurping, intruding to, or unlawfully holding any office. The defendant will have to pay costs and a fine and possibly some damages. And that's the gist of it, folks. That's what's going on.
A requirement that they have to post what's called a faithful performance surety bond. And it's the same thing. It's just to make sure that they don't commit any malfeasance in office and that they got skin in the game. And they never had any of that. So whatever they did in 2021 with the current board, all 4 or 5 members that are on that board, when they took office, before that was passed, they never held office because and I'll show you the case law, you cannot hold office until you swear the oath and post bond. It has to be done prior to entering office. Okay, so they're what's called de facto. So this is a de facto government, not de jure. De jure would be the actual, government, constitutional government. So we are in a de facto government. All right, I'm back. I'm on the back streets of Sonora here. Let's flip that way so you can kind of get that idea where I'm at. Look at that beautiful house. And I wanted to let everyone know I didn't flip out my rocker. Kevin Siebert was running for office, and right then and there I knew that I could also run for office. So I tried to sign up at the last minute to put my name in the hat for district number 1. I'm currently living downtown, and they said my last registration was up in district number number 2, up there in Twain Hart and Cedar Ridge. I think it's Cedar Ridge. They changed the boundaries and this and that. So make a long story short, they made it hard for me there and said I had to go get some signatures and put up some money and change my address. But I didn't have an address to change because the whole situation is maybe without a home, an official home. And I've been living on the run in different places, and with these things going on and being chased down, I've literally been on the run for 2 years, and I'm tired of this. Okay, and I'll get to the backstory. It's been longer than that. Okay, so this is all retaliation for exposing government corruption, but it ends here. This is Tuolumne County. I didn't come here for this. I came here to clean up the backstory. We'll get to all that later. But right now in Tuolumne County, when I was up here peaceful and quiet, minding my own business, this all came to me, people. And as far as running for office, I did put my name, or try to get my name on that list. And rather than going to court and trying to fight all that, I just did a little bit of research and asked for the bonds and the oath of office for every board supervisor, which I was provided, and noticed that they did not take the loyalty clause, nor did they post the bond. And when I inquired about the bond, they said that they they did what they did in 2021. And I said, well, you can't put the cart before the horse. So if you didn't hold office, then you can't vote to have a insurance policy, not paid by you, but by the taxpayers, to cover your fraud and then go commit the fraud that we're going to get into here in a minute. So that's what time it is. And then they said that in 1979, they created a self-funded workers' comp insurance. But workers' comp is different. That's if you get hurt, if an employee gets hurt on the job, right, falls off the ladder, breaks his back, needs some medical attention, all that. That's what that workers' comp is for. It's not for liability, right? So the Board of Supervisors, the sheriff, the DA, on down, they would have to pay for that bond, okay? Just like they would pay for their own auto insurance, right? Now, if they're at work and during company hours driving a truck, maybe some of these guys like the sheriff might get a company car they can drive home, and that's understandable, and they'd be insured on all that. But the way they got it right now is unconstitutional, and like I said, it scales all the way up. So I just usurped all the seats in the county. Now, I'm not going to take all the seats, and I'm not here to create anarchy or any of that. What's going to happen is, by law, the sheriff would, every elected official that didn't post bond or take the proper oath doesn't officially hold office. Currently, the way we see it is an under sheriff would take the oath, post bond, become the sheriff, and he would be the only elected official in the state that could hold office temporary, being the governor. The old white building up here on the hill, believe it or not, was going to be the state capitol at one time. It is true, and that's why they built the building like that. It was a school originally. That's because they moved the capital to Sacramento. It was going to be in Placerville. I remember that, and I did not know that, but it is true. You can go and ask the people in town at the museum, or somebody will tell you that was built like that, because that's not a schoolhouse. That was going to be the capitol, and it's been sitting idle and it looks like hell, and nobody's using it, and it could be used temporarily, and we can have a constitutional convention right here in Sonora and determine what we're going to do, because the way I see it is most of these positions would be filled by people who are qualified and can say the oath, but there's a lot of fraud, and we need to make sure that people aren't communists and are going to run a constitutional government, which is giving people their rights, right? So I don't think anybody can argue with that, right? Any Democrat, anybody, Black Lives Matter, that's what they're complaining about. Right? We want our rights. And on the other side of the spectrum as well, the right wing, we want our rights, right? Nobody wants to be harassed by the government. You have the right to not have illegal search and seizures, and on and on and on, and certainly your First Amendment. And you have these rights to also show up at these community meetings, which they're blocking us now. We cannot call in or Zoom. They do not want to hear from me. Basically, they told me that if I come around, I'm going to get a protective order on me. They don't like what I have to say. And the reason they don't like what I have to say is because I'm talking about corruption, and I'm not afraid of anything. Okay? You've already destroyed my life. We'll get into all of that. I have nothing to lose, okay? And I'm a very successful person. And I went to high school here and immediately got in the computer industry and made it very successful. And I had a very nice family and the American dream. I was living in Lake Tahoe. I had a house in Tahoe and a house in Carson City, and I was working for the state of Nevada when I uncovered corruption. And they were embezzling hundreds of billions, probably billions of dollars. They weren't auditing the gold. I was running their computer system. I was at the heart of the system, in the belly of the beast, right? I was their IT security guy too. And I seen how they did it. You can't con a con. And it's like that here. And once you see how they do it, you can't unsee it. You can't. You just can't. It's called money laundering 101. So these guys are caught up in a massive money laundering scandal, what they've done. And we're going to get into that. Let me go home, drink some water, and I'll tell you the second part of the story.
And the players above them are getting greased all off of your back. So I've about had it. I'll also end on a positive note. I got this incredible email forwarded from a friend. There is a gentleman named Ty running for District 1 in my county. And his email is off the charts. What we need are people like Ty because he's raw and he's real. So he writes, greetings. And he sends this to, it looks like almost everybody involved in county politics, okay? I just filed some paperwork in the courts. See attachment. So he's filed something. I have not had a chance to read the whole thing yet, but this is great. I'll be filing to run for District 1 Board of Supervisors. I'll be running for David's spot on an anti-corruption platform. Number 1, the corruption ends, including the Waste Management, Inc. That's what he calls California. The county council will be replaced. Zoom calls reinstated and public made welcome to meetings. Please see attachment. So I think he got kicked out of a meeting or something because he was calling some things out. 2, roads will be repaired this winter without any BS. 3, I understand Bill Gates is terraforming the forest and cutting down trees to bury in the desert. That BS ends immediately. 4, I am aware of a geoengineering contract and the chemtrails over this county. End now, regardless if I get elected. And 5, the climate action plan will be abolished. A proclamation that no fireplace ban will ever occur in this county will be made. We will have wood burning stove Pride Month to celebrate and include the diversity of wood, oak, pine, cedar, etc. And how all the trees get along in the forest and we as humans can learn from them. Trees. Leave nature alone. Any affiliation with the Rockefeller folks ends. Same with any United Nations, World Economic Forum, and any similar organizations. Then he goes on to put screenshot after screenshot. The Rockefeller Foundation funding HUD through the National Disaster Resilience Program. Number 6, there will be a pay cut. He then pastes all of the salaries for Tuolumne County employees. And the salaries are pretty spectacular, I'll just say. This man is my hero. We need people like Ty to be bold and outspoken, and so he has my support. I don't know who else is running for District 1, but his name is Ty Robben. And Ty, you are my hero, and your email is exactly what I needed to be able to sleep tonight. So thank you. Everyone get out there, call out the bullshit. We need raw and real and direct. We need all of your voices. And if you like my videos, please share because I'm not getting any reach. Have a great night, everyone.